What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you're new, please consider subscribing. If you enjoy this video, hit that like button for me. Alright guys, today I got a knife overview for you of a knife that, to me, this is a very confused Spyderco. Or maybe confusing Spyderco, for me anyway. It's very different from Spyderco. This is the Spyderco Advocate. This is a Gail Bradley design, and it's very, very different from Spyderco. It doesn't even feel like Spyderco in hand. The only thing that makes me think Spyderco when looking at this knife is the hole and the logo, of course. But the rest of it just doesn't look and scream Spyderco to me. It's very, very different from them. Speaking of Gail Bradley, there's the Bradley 2, so you can definitely see his designs are, you know, you can tell one of his knives when you look at it. At least with these two, you can tell they're the same guy. I can anyway. This one has CPM M4 blade steel, titanium scales with an orange pill finish on it. See if I can get that orange pill to show up for you. Just this light a little bit. Hopefully you can see that orange pill finish on there. Very nice finish on the titanium. I like that orange pill. Give you the specs real quick. I want to pull some more Spydercos out here just to show you guys, and I'll do size comparisons with some of these also. But you know, this is just a very, very different look from Spyderco, and I'm not sure how to feel about it, honestly. It doesn't feel like. It just doesn't feel like Spyderco in hand. Doesn't look like Spyderco. Just very different from them. So, which, you know, a lot of people say that Spyderco and Bitchmade, they need to, you know, do new things and try new things. And well, I guess they tried something new with this one. This has been out for a while now. I don't know the exact dates. It's pretty much sold out everywhere and out of stock. By the way, this knife will be available in the next knife sale. So if you've been looking for one of these, there will be one available. The Bradley will also be available, FYI. But yeah, let me give you the specs real quick, and then we'll do a couple size comparisons. Overall length of this knife is 8.04 inches. Blade length is 3.5 inches. Blade thickness is only 120 thousandths, so it's going to be really slicey. M4 blade steel. Weight is 4 ounces. It's titanium frame lock that has a different style lock bar insert. I mean, it comes all the way back. The lock bar insert comes all the way back to right there and has 1, 2, 3, I think 4 screws in it. No, 2 screws and like 2 little pins to lock it in place. Seems a bit overkill, but you know, it is what it is. They're Spyderco after all. They should know what they're doing. Who am I to judge, right? I just don't understand why you need a lock bar insert that's 1 inch long. Bit odd in my opinion. All right, let's do some size comparisons real quick. We'll go ahead and pull out the Gail Bradley, the Bradley 2. Since he designed both of these knives, use it as a size comparison. So we'll start there, and then we'll go ahead and do a Manix 2, my personal largest Spyderco I own. Still looking for scales for this guy. If anybody out there has one. Has some decent ones. Love to get some carbon fiber, but you know, they're hard to come by right now. Love to get this carbon fiber, actually. The Raindrop from Titanium. Sold out everywhere. Speaking of Titanium, there you go. And there's the Yojimbo 2. It's a long knife. Very long knife. Here's the pair of 3. Quite a bit longer than a pair of 3. Here's a Sage 5. Get some of these out of the way. And here is the Little Native. Giant compared to the Little Native. Ergonomics. Ergos are actually surprisingly good. It's very thin. It's very thin for its length. It's long and skinny. Very slender. Feels very comfortable in hand. No hot spots at all. You can't choke up here past this flipper. That's something else that just makes this not feel like a Spyderco to me, the flipper, you know. Don't see many Spydercos with flippers, so The lock bar access is decently good, pretty good actually. The problem is it's one of the most uncomfortable I've ever felt. That lock bar insert, you know, there's nothing chamfered there. It's just a 90-degree angle, come straight up 90 degrees that way. And it's kind of stiff also, not terribly stiff, just a little bit stiff, but it takes a little effort, and it's not very comfortable on your thumb right there. So you can see the indentation being put in my thumb, just pressing it a couple times. All right, so not the most comfortable, but you know, if you're using it like a normal knife and you're just going to open it, you know, and close it like a normal person and not play with it, it's not going to be a big deal for you. I do find it's more comfortable if I use my nail and press against it. Definitely more comfortable that way than using the meat of my thumb. Flipper action, actually surprisingly good. I know Spyderco is not very known for their flippers. I can fell this knife. It doesn't have the, well, if I try I can fell it, but it actually has pretty good detent. Yeah, see, I can fell with the flipper. The hole access is what really throws me off with this one. On the Spidey flick anyway, on the thumb flick side, or the slow roll, they did a cutout here that's both for the lock bar, I think, and for the hole access. So you can get your thumb in there pretty easily and flick it. Also slow roll it. But the Spidey flick is where I'm really, you know, that's where it gets tricky, because, you know, a third of the Spidey hole's covered up. Can get in there and do it. I have to use a little wrist action. I also have noticed a couple times when I first started doing this that the flipper tab would come back and catch my finger, which would make me fell it. So for me, this one's definitely better to thumb flick it out or just use the flipper tab. Now, the fit and finish on this knife is very, very good. They did a great job on it. This finish on this titanium is gorgeous. I'm going to research how you do orange peel. I think I read somewhere you can get an orange peel if you leave it in your etching liquid long enough, like how you etch titanium to take the color off. If you leave it in that acid longer, you can get an orange peel finish. But I'm not sure about that. Don't hold me to that. I got to do some research on it. But I would like to try to finish something like this. It looks super slick, and it's not like super grippy or anything, but you can definitely feel the texture, which does give you grip. It's not nearly as slick as you would think it would be. I mean, with the flipper tab there, you just really lock in. Get jimping right where you need it, as Spyderco always does. Excellent ergonomics. Excellent, fantastic ergonomics, actually. My biggest complaint with this is the lock bar. It's really the only negative I have about it. Obviously, I don't like flippers, so I really don't like this flipper being here. If you notice on the actual Bradley, very similar knife, but no flipper. This one's a liner lock, but no flipper, right? I think a lot of times companies are putting flippers on knives like this so that, you know, for people that aren't as into knives, flippers just one of those universal deployment methods that pretty much anyone can pick up a knife and do it. So I think that probably has a lot to do with it. Of course, you got your lanyard hole, like Spyderco likes to put in everything. Yeah, pretty cool knife. If you're a collector, this may be one you're going to pick up. These are not available pretty much anywhere that I've seen. I've looked at a few different places. They're sold out everywhere, so keep an eye out for the next sale if you're interested in this one. It will be available. Very cool knife. I'll give you a couple other size comparisons other than the Spydercos. We'll do Benchmade Bug Out, of course. Just a couple others in case you didn't have the Spydercos. And the AD 20.5. Actually, let's do the other AD 20.5. There you go. The Kvist Blade Works variant, PE2. Put mineral oil on these scales. Turned out really good. As a comparison, there it is without mineral oil. Quite a difference, huh? Looks so much better with the mineral oil, at least in my opinion. What else we got here? Let's go and do the Wiha Coolix. How about a Civivi Elementum? And a QSP Penguin. Actually, I got one more I want to do real quick because of the length of that knife. Here's the Tempest Knives pinion. So it's a hair longer than the pinion also. Super thin though, that's the thing. I mean, we're talking bug out thin here almost. Maybe bug out thin. Let's compare that real quick. Yeah, we're on the bug out level of thinness there. It's just a tiny bit thicker than a bug out. I mean, a millimeter, if that. Yeah, very thin, especially for its size. I didn't think the ergos would be good for me because of that with the arthritis, but because of how tall it is, I don't have to bend my knuckles too much. It's actually very comfortable in my hand, so yeah. Not sure if I love this knife or hate this knife. I can appreciate what it is, but to me it just doesn't scream Spyderco. But you know, if everybody doesn't like the Para 3, and this is something very different from them. So if you like flippers and you like Spyderco, this is an option. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have one of these, comment below. Let me know what you think about it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.